Two separate outbursts of anger have occurred at polling booths in Sydney, leaving one man in hospital and two others charged. In the Prime Minister's own electorate, an elderly man was allegedly punched by a 17-year-old after apparently trying to vandalise an Anthony Albanese election sign. In a separate incident, one man was charged with intimidation after he allegedly kicked over a number of signs and became aggressive with volunteers. For their take, let's bring in WA Opposition Leader Basil Zempilas and Sunshine Coast Mayor Rosanna Natoli.
Morning.
Good morning to both of you who have been through elections. Basil, attempted vandalism, alleged assault, intimidation. Just another day in the election, but why aren't we calming down? Why are we so angry?
Yeah, and it is a bit disappointing because our democratic process, we've got lots of ups and downs in Australia, but we do value the fact that we can get out and vote freely. Having just been through an election, there is an escalation of this stuff, I've got to say, all the time, and it's very disappointing. Any candidate of any political persuasion should be able to put their signs up and not have to have them defaced or have people come and knock them over. And I don't like where this is going. I mean, you would like the collective temperature to just come down with everybody. And remember what it is that we love about Australia. Remember all of the values that we're going to celebrate tomorrow. And when you go to vote, just go and vote and leave everybody's paraphernalia alone, I reckon. It shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah, Rosanna, it seems to start with these signs. People seem very, very angry about where the signs are, whether they're inside a fence, outside a fence, illegal. I mean, it just seems to set people off.
It does. It really, really does. And I think probably we have a lot of candidates today, more than perhaps in the past, so we do get this proliferation of signs right across our community. So that does get people angry. The thing is, there is no excuse for the level of violence that this escalated to. So the only thing being grilled at an election should be a sausage and definitely not any of the passers-by. No violence. It's really not okay. But the other tip is, go, take a deep breath, do your voting, really appreciate what it is about being in a democracy, and let's see if we can get through the day.
Yeah, spend more of your time maybe at the cake stall, at the school, where the funds are going into the community, stuff and like that.
And take cash just in case they haven't got the FPOS facilities.
Or if it's gone
a couple
down.
of dollars for that sausage, definitely for those community groups.
Know that someone will disagree with you, and that's okay. All good. Moving on, US President Donald Trump says he's considering introducing a baby bonus in order to halt the country's declining birth rates. Mr. Trump is weighing up a $5,000 payment for new parents, which reminds us all of when the Howard government introduced a similar idea. Basil, what do you think about this?
Very successful it was too. One for mum, one for dad, and one for the country. And that was 21 years ago. So those kids might be watching now, Nat, and thinking, wow, is that how I came to be here? Mum and dad took the incentive and here I am. Look, you wouldn't have thought a country the size of the United States needs to be offering these incentives, but I guess migration has slowed under the Trump regime, and maybe this is their way of trying to kick it up. It's interesting, isn't it? No matter what walk of life you're in or what it is you're trying to achieve, a cash bonus always seems to make a difference. I think it's the language that we all speak.
I've got one of those kids, and it's really interesting.
Did you take the money?
Well, that's so interesting that you say that. And Rosanna, you'll understand this.
Yes.
How old are your kids?
So I have two baby bonus babies. My second child, I did receive a bonus, turning 21 this year. And then my third child was actually one for the country. So the Treasurer came out and said one for mum, one for dad, and one for the country, and we decided to have a third baby. So it does work. I do have friends who bought widescreen TVs, so that's what they did, because we all know it's not enough.
Is your third one because of the baby bonus?
No, because of the one for the country. We were doing our thing for the country.
The TV
because,
and you've got a really good TV. No, the producer upstairs said to me, when I said, oh, well, we got the baby bonus, he said, so did you have the child because of the baby bonus? And I said, newsflash, a child will cost you more than $5,000 in its life. So
it doesn't even cover the cost of nappies.
Sometimes that's what you need to get your kick started, though, Nat, right?
Okay. So are we in favour of bringing that back here?
Bring it in.
Yeah, absolutely. More cash bonuses for everybody.
Okay, and Harvey Norman will be happy to. Finally, ANZ Bank has caused an uproar over these signs, which asks customers to scan a QR code for simple information such as opening hours and branch details. A spokesperson said it is so customers can access the most up-to-date information.
Yeah.
But that still did not sit well with some. Basil, one person said, why don't you just, on a sign like that, write the opening hours?
How hard can it be? Unless the opening hours are changing every week, and then in which case it would be redundant. QR codes are good. We were introduced to them with COVID. We find out all the extra information and it's pretty easy. But with something like that, please just put open 9:30 till 5 p.m. It can't be that hard.
Yeah, I don't even understand why they would have to do this, Rosanna. What do you think?
Oh, and look, they tell us not to click on the link when you get an SMS or in an email, but then you can scan a potentially malicious QR code because they're easy to, you know, paste over or whatever. So I don't know what they are thinking. I have to side really with the sign of the angry majority here because it just does not make any common sense to have to put up a sign to find a sign.
We might ask.
Yeah.
ANZ, what do you reckon?
Yeah,
I think their marketing people are sitting there going, oh, we've got one to do today.
Someone
in,
let's just say, a mobile phone generation.
Sharon, Michelle, we've got to sort this one out.
Quick, we got mentioned on Sunrise this morning. Quick, go and sort this out.
We need a boardroom meeting.
No, get rid of the signs.
See you guys, you've started something. Here's Chevo.